Have you ever known that everything about you has a legal implication? Welcome to All Matters Legal. We're going to be talking to you about you and the law, and what a better way to start by talking about the Constitution, which is the mother of all laws. From the Constitution, you can actually learn everything pertaining to your rights, everything you're entitled to, everything you're supposed to do and what not to do. So what a better way than to start by outlining whatever it is that you are entitled to. Hey people, so this is your girl Praxi, the lawyer on All Matters Legal. Remember, it's on Clergy TV, the home of empowerment.
This is Clergy TV. Arise, shine.
In our program, we're going to be highlighting to you all the rights that you are entitled to. We're going to be talking to you about the advantages of knowing those rights and the disadvantages of not knowing those rights. Of course, there are very many disadvantages of, not knowing what you're entitled to, not knowing what you're supposed to do. So our program is going to be enlightening you on all that. Of course, we're going to be talking to you also about what organizations you can actually go to for help or to enforce these rights. And all this is going to be happening on Clergy TV, which is the home of empowerment. So we'll also be talking about, of course, the special groups. And in Kenya, the special groups are like the youth, the children, the persons with disabilities, the elders. So also just to mention but a few rights that we're going to be talking about. The first of all, of course, is your life. Without your life, you couldn't be talking about any other right. So of course, you're going to be highlighting the right to life, what you're entitled to when you hear, I have a right to life. You have a right to your privacy. You have a right to your dignity. You have a right to have your property protected. You have a right actually to even not to be discriminated. So all this, you're going to be listing them, and hey, they are 25 rights, so it's actually important for you to know them. And as earlier said, all these rights are all provided for in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And in our program, we'll be highlighting all this. We'll be talking to you about them in depth, and also just to get to make you understand to what extent, because all these rights have limitations to them. For instance, you can be talking about, you have a right to, you have the freedom of speech, and then you go about creating havoc in the name of freedom of speech. So in this program, we're going to be enlightening you on to what extent can you go with these rights. Yes, you're entitled to them, but to what extent are you going to be going with these rights? And talking about special groups, the children, you can't just mistreat children. They are very protected and empowered group of persons here in Kenya. So it's actually good for you as a citizen of Kenya, and having mentioned that the Constitution is the mother of all laws, to understand to what extent are children protected, to what extent can actually those children be also entitled to the law. Because you see, protection also has limits. Yes, they are children. Yes, they are meant to be protected. Yes, they are youth. They are meant to be protected. Yes, they are the elderly. They are meant to be protected, but to what extent? Also in our channel, we'll be able to talk to you about, this mother of all laws. It stands out. It is as the name suggests, it is the mother of all laws. All other laws in Kenya, including the Employment Act, the Public Finance Management Act, any other law that is enacted by the Parliament in Kenya, all stems from somewhere in the Constitution. So in our program, we'll be enlightening you on what the Constitution is, what it has, what it contains, because as we all know, currently in Kenya, we're on the verge of a referendum. We are all hearing about the BBI. Oh, the BBI is good, the BBI is bad. But I need you to have one thing in mind. The BBI seeks to amend part of, or rather a considerable part of this Constitution, which we are considering the mother of all laws. So in our program, we'll be enlightening you on all this. We will endeavor to make you understand what the current mother of all laws says and what actually threatens, or rather is on the verge of being amended or not. So stay tuned.
Clergy TV. Kenya is watching.
in our program, we'll also be enlightening you on other aspects of the law, like environmental law, employment law. How do you relate with your boss? As a boss also, how do you relate with your employees? We're going to be talking about, of course, also as an employer or an employee, there are obligations that you are supposed to meet as an employer or as an employee. For instance, as an employer, you have to make sure that tax is payee. You have to make sure you're paying NSSF and NHIF for your employee. So we are in our program, we're going to be enlightening you on all these. We're going to be talking about family law and succession. Who can be married? Who can you marry? What type of marriage is legal? And of course, the various types of marriages here in Kenya. And remember, actually, just about a year and a half ago, the government said that all marriages should be registered. So we are going to be enlightening you on all these, the processes for, getting married, the, adoption of children, that all falls under family law. In our program, we'll also be talking to you about succession. When you lose a loved one who was a breadwinner, say a father or a mother, and you're left behind with property that you need to actually deal with, and you're going to entities, they're telling you, hey, we need papers from court. What does that mean? What do you need to do? We are going to be enlightening you on that. Also, as a citizen, you are actually obligated to pay tax. What does that mean? So in our program, we'll also be covering tax law. We'll also be covering property law. What type of property are you entitled to? What are you supposed to do when you're actually seeking out for property, to buy property or to sell property? What are the various procedures? Our program will also seek to enlighten you on all that. So we hope that you're going to learn actually a lot from this program of ours. Stay tuned.
Clergy TV. Kenya is watching.
Remember to subscribe on our channel on YouTube, All Matters Legal. Click on the bell to get on the notifications on when we post our very enticing information. And also remember to comment, ask your questions, comment, say anything about it. What do you like for us to address? And what do you think you should say about what we tell you? So thank you so much. God bless you.